Hi everyone, it is daylight and I am making a video. So today I want to talk about codependency. And codependency is not about depending on your partner for things, because it's okay to depend on your partner for whatever it is your needs are, but it becomes a toxic relationship pattern when you put their needs above your own, you put their desires above your own, their comfort before your own, because you think that is the more loving way to be, where you're just putting them up and you're putting your own needs behind you. It's it's pretty much losing yourself, losing your own preferences, your own desires, your own needs, neglecting yourself because you think the more loving way to be is to serve your partner. You think it's more loving to just make their life easier, to make his life, is to love him, pretty much, is to put, because your love is just so great, you're just gonna put him before you. And it's a pattern you slip into without even consciously knowing, because that is the kind of relationship that you had growing up, where you're taught to put others first. You're taught that you shouldn't be, your desires are too much, you're too much. So you learn to push yourself under and put someone else before you to make them happy. Because when you're happy, or when you're upset, or whenever, whatever emotions you're going through, it becomes a burden to others. You learn that you are a burden to others, or something wrong about you. The core belief in all codependency and narcissism is shame, that you're not good enough unless you are a different way. And that is how you behave. But the thing is, you might think that isn't that kind of a good thing to be so selfless? It's not, because you might think you're doing it for the other person, but you're actually doing it to get your needs met indirectly, because you want your partner to be a certain way, and for him to be a certain way, you think you need to self-sacrifice. You think in order for him to love you back, you need to self-sacrifice. In order for him to be romantic, you need to self-sacrifice. So it's your way of getting love through abandoning yourself, is what you've been taught and programmed, that in order to get your parents' love, you need to shut yourself down and abandon yourself. Abandon your desires, your needs, your wants, your emotions, and you can suppress it for as long as you can while you're still wearing that codependent mask. But when you are triggered, all of those emotions comes out, and you start vomiting everything you've been suppressing. And your partner, your romantic partner especially, knows that side of you, or only your romantic partner knows that side of you, because you're so trained to wear a mask of like, I'm cool, I'm easygoing, like you don't have to worry about me, just, like I'll just serve you. Like it's very subservient, self-sacrificing nature that you adapted. And in order to heal from that pattern, you have to be willing to be a bitch. You have to let them go. You have to stop trying to control them through self-sacrifice, control how they show up, and you control how you show up. You take back your energy, you take back, you allow yourself to be, you allow yourself to set boundaries, pretty much, because what they're used to is, oh, this person doesn't need much, but now it's like you take that back and you say, I do need things, I do need you to put in effort, I do need you to be there and show up this way, or I'm not gonna show up, or I'm not gonna be available. So when you set boundaries, you're pretty much rocking the boat that your partner is so used to. And of course, he's not gonna like it. Of course, he's gonna think like something's different about you and you're being a bitch because you're not the same you that he's used to. But you're actually healing because you discover that your needs and your desires and what you like is just as important. And it's time for you to stop putting him first. And so many women don't even realize they're doing it because they just think that's love. And neglecting yourself is just showing love, but it's not. It's because you're controlling. You're so focused on like having things be a certain way that you're shutting yourself down and you can't control another person. So you're like digging a hole. You're just digging and digging, energetically digging a hole of like leaking all your energy into this hole that's never gonna have any outcome. You're just planting seeds of like blanks. You're just shooting blanks pretty much because nothing can come out of it. You're trying to control another person. You're trying to break their free will. You're not nurturing yourself. You're not nourishing yourself. It's just a downhill. You're just rolling downhill until the relationship disintegrates because the universe, God, does not want that for you. That's not your highest good to be subservient to another person, to give yourself up for another person. And until you realize this dynamic that you're in, you're going to keep attracting partners who are going to make you do this. They're not going to be available for you. There's going to be things about your partner that are red flags, but you refuse to see. And it's going to repeat and repeat until you're just like, I'm so done with this. I need to be myself. I need to love myself. Who else will love me if I don't love myself? I need to be a bitch. I need to seem like a bitch. I need to stop controlling others. I need to put all this energy back into myself in order for things to shift. So at first when I, discovered the law of attraction and like how you create your own reality and how like all of your inner children are, playing out all of his wounds and trying to heal. All of that I learned, I was still trying to use these tools to control my partner, to have him be the loving partner that he is. Not that he's not, it's just I'm unable to receive it because all I can think about is like how he's not. So even when he is, all I can think about is how he's not. So now I have stepped into a place of it's okay that you're not, or it's okay for you to be as you are and however way you present yourself. But here's my truth. Here's what I like. Here are my needs. Here's my wants. I'm not going to keep fighting you about your needs and your wants just because they oppose mine. I'm just going to let you have your reality and I'm going to have my reality. And it's up to you to catch the ball if you want to continue being my romantic partner. Because I have needs and wants and preferences. And I know sorry, my cat just like ran into the door. I know that if I keep this cycle up of self-sacrificing, it's doing him a disservice because he's never allowed to even like see my truth and be able to love me for me, because it's always a mask. I'm always wanting him to pretty much be under my control, and it's a very toxic cycle. Yes, that is my rant. That is my riff on codependency, because I really feel for women who are just like so loving at their core, but they don't see how it's hurting themselves and hurting their relationship and hurting others when they're not able to own their truth, own their authenticity, what they truly want, because they don't feel like they can have it unless they self-sacrifice. And it's going to hurt at first because you don't know if they're going to stay in this relationship. You don't know if he will like you for the way you are. But you're never gonna know unless you're brave enough to be who you are. And it's not trying to change him, it's not trying to change yourself either. It's just allowing yourself to not sacrifice anymore. It's allowing yourself to say, hey, I want this. And then just own that you want this, like whatever it is you want. It's not I want this and you need to give it to me. It's I want this. It'll be so nice to have this. And ask for the need to be met. Can you, whatever it is that you want, take me out on a date? Can you spend some alone time with me? Whatever it is that you need, and voice it, instead of like, I do all of these things for you, why don't you just give me that? And it's just like, he never knew you wanted that. He never knew you had that desire, because you already made it wrong to have a desire. You already made it wrong that like you want something from him. Thank you all for listening. Let me know if you have any questions about relationship dynamics, especially narcissist codependency. And the thing with narcissism is, this is a very unpopular opinion, but you're doing it to yourself. Whatever the narcissist is doing, you're doing it to yourself internally. And you have to admit that you're doing it to yourself. No one can steal your energy. You are literally pouring your energy out. You're literally dumping your own energy out. And they are willingly sucking it in because you're willing to dump it out. Okay, talk to you next time.